News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News 46 is also brought to you by Nevada HealthLink. Open enrollment ends February 15th. Visit www.nevadahealthlink.com today.
Tonight on News 46, a horseback rider is transported by air ambulance. Todd Green is performing for the public tomorrow night, and a check is presented to No to Abuse. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, February 5th, 2015. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A horse used for search and rescue was spooked Tuesday afternoon on the south end of town. Its rider was injured after falling from the animal.
This accident report is brought to you by Half Price Lawyers, located on the corner of Basin and 160. Call 775-400-0000.
Dispatch for an unknown type of injury. It was difficult for us to determine exactly what the location was since it didn't occur in the proper area. It was actually off in the desert. And so once we were able to determine exactly where the patient was located, our crews made it out there. But they couldn't take the ordinary ambulances because it was rather rough terrain. So we actually had one of our four-wheel drive squads respond as well. When we found and came upon the patient, we determined that the mechanism of falling off that horse caused injury that warranted a trauma intervention. So we brought Mercy Air 21 into the scene, which added several additional resources, that being an engine company and myself, to manage the LZ for the incoming airship.
So the horse and rider, the rider was obviously bucked off the horse or fell off the horse. So was the person with other riders? Do you know?
It's my understanding there was a small group of riders. They were in a desert area. They were in close proximity to a ranch, and maybe a steer or something had come up to the fence line, spooked the horse. The horse was known to have reared. The rider rolled off the back of the horse and landed in a position that could have caused some serious injuries.
And so taken obviously to trauma in Las Vegas.
Yes, the Mercy Air 21 was the mechanism for that.
I'd like to thank Paul Sachaki for those photos. Fire Chief Scott Lewis updates us on a 5-vehicle accident that occurred on Highway 160.
Friday evening, just south of Tacoma Road on Highway 160, we were dispatched for a report of a multi-vehicle accident. It was thought there would originally be around 6 or 7 vehicles. Upon arrival, we found that there was 5 vehicles involved, 4 of which were in the immediate area. Another vehicle had driven away approximately almost a mile away, but had failed mechanically and was on the shoulder of the road. Our assessment revealed that we had 2 people that required medical intervention, and due to our proximity to Las Vegas, 2 of our medic units transported those individuals to Las Vegas-based hospitals. We, in fact, found no entrapment, but there was significant damage to each of the vehicles that were involved.
So how did this happen? Do you have an idea?
NHP was actually investigating. It's my understanding there was an initial collision regarding an SUV and possibly a pickup truck. And at some point when the driver of that SUV was egressing out of the vehicle, that vehicle was subsequently struck by another pickup truck hauling a fifth-wheel trailer, which then threw the occupant away from the scene. So now we have an incident within an incident. So there may have been several impacts as a result of the initial impact.
So the one driver that was the initial person who caused this accident was actually trying to flee.
I'm not sure exactly. That's part of the NHP investigation, but I know that that vehicle had further traveled down the roadway on Highway 160 heading northbound towards Pahrump. I would say approximately 3/4 of a mile to a mile.
Pretty lucky that only 2 people were injured in 5 vehicles.
It was significant damage to all the vehicles, so yes, very lucky.
They weren't taken by air ambulance, they were taken by ground?
They actually met flight criteria. However, due to the weather, flight was unavailable to us. So our one medic crew is on the way back from Las Vegas on a separate transport, and then an engine, myself, and another ambulance were coming from Pahrump. So we just basically redirected them back to Las Vegas with the patients.
And that driver that attempted to flee was taken into custody by Nevada Highway Patrol. Our own Herb Melvoin spoke to Fire Chief Scott Lewis regarding a rollover accident that occurred yesterday afternoon on Highway 160 near Spring Mountain.
On Highway 160 yesterday in Clark County, approximately mile marker 28, we were dispatched for a rollover accident with unknown extent of injuries. Upon arrival, we met with the 66 engine out of Las Vegas, Clark County, and we determined that there had been a rollover accident. One person remained entrapped in the vehicle. It was our understanding that the person may have been partially ejected at one point and was partially underneath the vehicle. We remedied that. We extricated the patient out of the vehicle, and the Mercy Air 21 arrived on the scene, and that patient was subsequently flown off to trauma.
And as we head into our first break, here's Ron Chase with Nevada Public Auction.
Today's auction news is brought to you by Nevada Public Auction.
This weekend we have another amazing auction. It's 4 or 5 estates combined here. We've got some gorgeous appliances, some furniture, washer, dryer, refrigerator, chest freezer, upright freezer, tons of tools again too, lots of hand tools, sockets, wrenches, ratchets, Craftsman 2-piece toolbox, air compressor, and of course for Valentine's Day, we're a week away. So we've got some nice sterling silver jewelry, some gold jewelry, and some coins of currency for the guys.
And this is really a great place to get those jewelry items just in time, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There's not a lot of shopping in Pahrump, so we get some different stuff in the auction every single week. So it's a nice place to come down for some different stuff, some unique stuff, and yeah, there's some nice gold jewelry, some nice silver jewelry, and it'll be a good deal for you too.
Tell me about some of these items that we have outside.
There's a bunch of stuff outside too. So there's lots of workbenches, big utility tables, garage shelving, and some nice shelving too. So yeah, a lot of nice hard shelving, which is always popular here in town. People have such large garages and large storage sheds.
So how can people find out more?
Obviously come down and take a look, but you can get us on the web at auctionnv.com, and then you can call me here at 751-4867. Not every single item is pictured on the website, but you get a good representation. But the best thing is come down for a preview. All day Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And where are we located?
800 Margaret Street. That's one street past the hospital, just off Highway 372.
And what's the website address again?
Again, it's www.auctionnv.com.
Today's auction news is brought to you by Nevada Public Auction.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. The Nevada Department of Transportation announces that southbound Interstate 15 will be reduced to one travel lane between mile markers 93 and 95 starting at 6 a.m. this morning until 4 p.m. February 12th. The southbound I-15 on and off ramps will be closed too, with the Glendale exit suggested. Contractor Las Vegas Paving is performing a $35.6 million, 26-mile-long resurfacing of I-15 from Dry Lakes to the Logandale-Overton interchange. The project, which began January of 2014, is expected to finish in May. Motorists are advised to use caution, heed construction signage, and take alternate routes if possible. Todd Green is performing for the public tomorrow night at Pahrump Valley High School.
You start with one instrument when you're young, and then you start adding them on. So I started with guitar, and then eventually got interested in the music of India and started studying the tablas, which are the hand drums from India, and the bansuri flute, which is the bamboo flute. And that led to more strings, more percussion, more flutes, until I wound up where I am now, which is essentially about 50 different instruments I play. I travel with over 30 that I perform in the concert, and I'm 20-something in the school programs.
I know the Pahrump Valley High School music department is excited to see you there today, and then you're going to be performing a concert tomorrow night at Pahrump Valley High School. The general public can come to that.
That's right, yeah, and I think that's a 7 o'clock start, yeah, what they'll hear there, even if they've heard the school programs, is quite a bit more music and quite a few more instruments. I essentially have about, as I mentioned earlier, 30-something instruments in the concert, 20-something in the school programs. And they're not going to hear me just play one instrument and then put it down and pick up another one and play it. I have a customized looping system that I'm able to record the instruments and layer them, so they will actually hear a band playing, even though they're going to watch me play every instrument that they're hearing. As far as their reaction to it, that's probably what I enjoy the most, is seeing their faces. And it doesn't matter if they're a kindergarten or they're a senior in high school. Or even, be honest with you, I do a lot of master classes in colleges too. And a lot of them, the common comment I get is the fact that they've heard these instruments like on soundtracks, but they didn't know what they look like. A lot of people are just mesmerized by these amazing instruments. I mean, some of these go back hundreds and hundreds of years. Just the traditions and the power of the music and the power of the sound that comes out of some of these instruments is just marvelous. And I just, the faces is what that gets me the most. You know, it's like in the eyes, the big eyes with the little ones. You know, when they, wow, I can't believe that came out of that instrument. You know, kind of thing.
It gives the kids an idea that they might be able to expand their horizons too, as well.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I get a lot of emails when I do concert tours, and I've had a number of them where mothers have said, you know, my 9-year-old was studying guitar, and now he wants to play this and he wants to play that, and you've totally changed his whole direction in music and stuff. You know, so yeah, it's very special to get those kind of contacts and feedback.
It is going to be such a fun show tomorrow night. Assemblyman James Oscarson, chair of the Assembly Committee on Health and Human Services, announced the committee will hold a meeting in Carson City tomorrow, Friday, February 6th, to discuss the Ebola Advisory Task Force and the outbreak of measles in Nevada. At the request of Assemblyman Oscarson, the meeting will begin with an overview of the Ebola Advisory Task Force. All interested Nevadans are invited to attend the meeting or view online from the calendar of meetings on the legislative webpage at LEG, that's ledge.state.nv.us. That's ledge.state.nv.us. The younger brother of Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid was arrested Monday afternoon after allegedly driving under the influence and punching a Nevada state trooper during a traffic stop. The 73-year-old Larry Reid was sitting inside a Lexus SUV that had been driving in the median of Highway 95 near Searchlight, Nevada. When approached by the trooper, Reid reportedly became agitated and attempted to flee in his vehicle. The trooper was able to stop Reid before he could get the vehicle in gear, but allegedly, according to police statements, punched the trooper twice in the face. The trooper was then able to pull the keys from the ignition and eventually arrest Reid after a short struggle. Reid suffered cuts to his head, nose, and wrist. Reid was charged with misdemeanor driving under the influence, battery on a protected person, driving in or across a median, failure to obey and comply with an officer, violation of the seatbelt requirement, and possession of a gun while under the influence of alcohol. When we come back from this break, we'll have your weekend sports with Courtney Salmon and great computer deals. Stay tuned.
Weekend Sports is brought to you by Wolfenstein Construction. The Pahrump Valley High School wrestling team will make their way to the Division 1A Southern Regional meet this Friday in Boulder City to see which wrestlers will qualify for the state championship meet. This meet will consist of the teams in both the 1A Sunset Division and the 1A Sunrise Division, so Pahrump wrestlers will likely face opponents they haven't seen much of all season. Pahrump leads the 1A Sunset Division, and leading the 1A Sunrise Division is Boulder City. Pahrump matched up against some Boulder City opponents at the beginning of the season in the Boulder City Duels tournament, where Faith Lutheran finished second, Pahrump finished third, and Boulder City finished fourth. Pahrump easily defeated Faith Lutheran in their matchup this season and is looking strong to lead the competition. The Pahrump Valley boys basketball team fell to Western High School last night at Pahrump Valley High School 51-35. The Pahrump Valley High School girls basketball team also fell to Western High School yesterday 38-34. Tomorrow, Bonanza High School will come to Pahrump Valley High School for a non-conference game. The girls start at 5 p.m. and the boys at 6:30 p.m. Bishop Gorman, wide receiver and son of entertainer and rapper Snoop Dogg, Cordell Brodus, signed his letter of intent to UCLA on Tuesday on ESPNU. This means Snoop Dogg and his son are now rivals since Snoop Dogg has a love for USC. Cordell made it clear this decision was for himself and his future. Interesting news came out of the UFC as both contenders in the main event of UFC 183, Anderson Silva and Nick Diaz, tested positive in their pre-fight drug tests. Nick Diaz tested positive for marijuana and Anderson Silva tested positive for 2 steroids. Silva defeated Diaz on Saturday by unanimous decision. After snapping his leg in a gruesome injury 13 months ago, no one expected Anderson Silva to be able to return. Now, Silva is denying allegations and looking to clear his name. This has been Weekend Sports. I'm Courtney Solman with News 46.
Hi, this is Josh Osborne with Great Computer Deals, located right here in Pahrump, Nevada. It's time for another quick tutorial.
A huge percentage of viruses, malware, and bloatware that we see on our customers' computers can be avoided by using some caution. You know the saying, the best offense is a good defense? That is completely accurate for things online. The creators of these scams know that you'll never download it voluntarily, so they need to tempt you with promises of coupons, free music, movies, games, not telling you that their product will come bundled with pop-up ads, toolbars, and other unwanted changes to your computer. Do yourself a favor and only download from reputable websites that you know and trust. Taking chances with suspicious websites that offer you something for nothing is simply not worth it.
Are you still having issues with your computer? We can help you. Come down to our store. We're located on Highway 372 across from Big O Tires. Or give us a call, 775-990-8833.
Thanks so much, Josh. A Valencia-based California company, a biomedical company, announced its first of its kind insulin inhaler, Afrezza. Sanofi and Mankind Corporation announced Afrezza inhalation powder. The only inhaled insulin is now available by prescription in United States retail pharmacies nationwide. Afrezza is approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to control high blood sugar in adults with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Afrezza is a drug-device combination product that consists of a dry formulation of human insulin delivered from a small and portable inhaler to help patients achieve blood sugar control. Afrezza is rapidly absorbed and has a short duration of action. It is administered at the beginning of a meal. A check was presented recently to No to Abuse.
Hi, I'm Jim McDonald. I'm the Regional Operations Director for DaVita Healthcare, and we're here today as a part of our DaVita Way of Giving program. And it's what we do as a company. Our teammates have the opportunity to reach out, to band together, and to send ripples through our local community. And it's a way of showing how much we care. And what an appropriate day and opportunity here to present to the Nevada Outreach Program. They do so many wonderful things to provide dignity and respect to the community. And we, as a kidney care company, provide life-sustaining care. And so together I think we make good partners in the community. So I'd like to turn it over to Crystal Curtis, our local facility administrator, for the presentation today.
Hi, I'm Crystal Curtis. I'm the facility administrator at DaVita in Pahrump. Our teammates actually voted together to go ahead and honor this check to the Nevada Outreach Program of $1,000 to help their program grow.
Thank you so much, Crystal and Jim. The DaVita Giving Way is an incredible program, and to have the teammates here in Pahrump to honor us and participate just shows the incredible support that Nevada Outreach has in our community. And we're so appreciative for our business partners, and we appreciate you so much for coming here and seeing us out here on Flag today. And thank you from all our staff and our board members for supporting us, and it will definitely go right back to the community.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Police say around 100 women in Japan who thought they were participating in a sleep study were actually drugged and raped. Their attacks recorded and sold to porn sites. Authorities arrested a 54-year-old man after one of the women saw herself in a video. Police investigated and arrested him, and he now faces charges of incapacitated rape in some 36 cases. Authorities say the suspect told them the number of victims is about 100. When we come back from this break, we'll have your weather and some announcements. Stay tuned.
News 46 weather is brought to you by from your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Thursday, February 5th. Today we had sunny skies with a high of 75 degrees. Your average temperature around this time of year is 60 degrees. So it was definitely warmer outside than it usually is around this time of year, which is always good around this time of year. Winds were coming from the south-southeast today at 5 miles per hour with gusts up to 12 miles per hour today. The UV today was 1, which is low. Humidity was at 26% today, and sunrise was at 6:43 this morning. And your record high back in 1939 was 78 degrees. But tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of 45 degrees. Your average temperature around this time of year is 41 degrees. Winds will be coming from the southeast at 7 miles per hour with gusts up to 12 miles per hour this evening. So your winds will be staying just about the same. Humidity will be at 46% this evening. And sunset was at 5:15 this evening, and the record low in 1939 was 18 degrees. Well, tomorrow we'll have sunny skies with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 46 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south at 12 miles per hour with the gusts up to 23 miles per hour. So we'll definitely be having some high winds tomorrow. Make sure you stay safe, especially on the roadways. Humidity will be at 25% tomorrow. Sunrise will be at 6:42 tomorrow morning, and the UV index will be 3, which is low. For our 7-day forecast, we'll have a mostly sunny week. We might be seeing a few clouds outside, though, on Saturday. Your high temperatures will be starting off in the mid-70s. That'll be dropping all the way down into the high 60s around early next week. And then your low temperatures, you'll be looking at a similar pattern. It'll be starting off in the mid-40s, dropping down into the high 30s mid-next week.
Thanks, Noah. St. Martin's in the Desert Episcopal Church, in partnership with Night Communities Coalition, is having a teen night tomorrow night, February 6th, from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Night Communities Coalition Activity Center on the corner of West and Wilson Street. The activity is free and open to middle school through high school age students. For more information, give them a call at 727-9970. That's 727-9970, or you can call the church at 537-1115. AARP Tax Aid volunteers will be doing taxes for local residents free of charge at the Prump Community Library during tax season, every Friday starting tomorrow through April 10th. For more information, give them a call at 537-4009. That's 537-4009. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46 from everyone up here at KPVM-TV and, of course, on our radio station, KA's Country 95.9. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.